Welcome back to my channel. My name is Katie Kazik, and this is another day in the life of our crazy kid. So we have been working really hard on something called emotion coaching, and it's a lot harder when they're older, and I didn't do very well with it with my 2nd through 5th kids. I'm trying to do better now that, the other kids are old enough where they can help me and kind of direct with things. But emotion coaching, if you've never heard of it, is helping the child find words for their emotions. So you're teaching them, like for example, let's just say my oldest two, Rebecca and Austin, were in a race, and Rebecca lost. And because Rebecca has an issue with her anger, that she decided to lash out and throw a rock at her brother. Not a rock, but like a pebble kind of thing. Or like hit him or slap him or stomp her feet and punch him kind of thing. That's whenever we would step in and be like, au contraire, my friend. It's okay to be angry. It's not okay to hit someone. Daniel's Tiger Neighborhood. So if you haven't seen that episode, then you should definitely check it out. Because it's actually really good to teach your kids that it's okay to feel that anger and emotion, but it's not okay to lash out and react instead of act. And it's really important to teach our children at a young age that they can't react to situations, they have to act. They have to think it through, they have to make a point to process it appropriately instead of just doing something. So when she does that, you would simply go, Rebecca, I understand you're angry, and you're frustrated, and you're upset, and you're not okay with the outcome, you're exhausted, find all these words that it could be and help her to find, or help the child find the words for that feeling. Silly, embarrassed, because who knows, maybe losing makes them feel embarrassed, you never know. So find the words, put words in, and as they start to feel things out, as they start to figure out this emotion that they have, then you can be like, okay, now that we know this is what this is, how about you apologize? Because that wasn't okay for you to hit them. And so we work really hard on that, but I haven't been the best at it throughout the years. So instead of doing that, I have come up with like 3 different ways that my kids can calm down and help them to be able to work through their anger in a way that isn't destructive to those around them and helps them to keep relationships with anyone they come in contact with. Don't get me wrong, because of certain situations or certain personality types, obviously, then not everyone's going to be friends with you, not everyone's going to stay friends with each other, but this is what we have found has helped our family, and maybe it can help yours too. So the first thing we do, because my oldest has ADHD and ODD, so for him, it's really important that we give him the chance to kind of walk away. So if he gets really overwhelmed or angry, he has certain triggers and he knows and he can pick up on them. He can play the piano because playing the piano helps him calm down, and he's learning that. So he can play the piano, he can go outside and walk around the house a few times, he can jump on a trampoline. He has this swing that he can, like a therapy swing that he can swing in, but it hasn't been hung up for the last little while because of the fact that he tends to leave it down. And so then the younger kids get into it and they end up playing with it in a way that's not supposed to be used for and end up almost breaking it. So we end up taking that one down. But he did have a swing, and it was actually very helpful for him to be able to just sit and be cocooned. And a lot of times children with like ADHD and ODD, they have these issues where they need to feel confined, which is why a lot of times or not confined, but like they need to feel secure. So that's why a lot of times, instead of weighted blankets, people do those little cocoon blankets where it tightens in. It's like a little wrap for the bed, and you just slip it on the bed, and that's their sheet for the night. So there's that you can also think about and consider. And there are tons of things that help. So, and like vitamins and stuff like that. But when he's angry, obviously the vitamins aren't going to be your go-to thing. So Instead, I have talked to him about, walking around the house and, going on the trampoline. And apparently Talon's going to help me with this. But then the other thing that we do, because my oldest daughter, Rebecca, she has a really bad issue with being angry as well. And so we have taught her, because she just stomps off and it doesn't resolve anything. Whereas Austin will be like, I need a break, and walk away, and he'll be like, I'm going to go jump on the trampoline, or I'm going to go play the piano, or I'm going to go do this. And we know at that point that he's been triggered and that he needs time to calm down and do things on his own and just relax and just refocus. So we let him. But Rebecca has a tendency of just being angry and just kind of sitting in it and like punishing everyone around her. So what we have found is that we have to tell her, can you please, this is what she has to say. We've given her these words to say, and this is what she has to say. Can you please leave me alone for a little bit? I'm really angry, and I'm not going to be nice to you right now. Or can I please have some time by myself? I don't think I can be nice right now. Or can you please let me be? I need to be by myself for a little bit. Either way, she has that time to kind of pull back and realize, hey, I'm angry. If I don't leave the situation, I'm going to make a huge mess of everything. And so it's that realization and that pullback that she has. And it's really, really cool that she's able to do that. And she's really good about identifying it in herself. And then with this little man,
I stomp in my room a lot.
He stomps in his room. And so what we do for him is I don't even call it a timeout, because I take a timeout every once in a while, and so I don't like calling it a timeout. What I say is, you need to go to your room when I see that he's getting overwhelmed, because he can't exactly feel it in himself as well as the other ones, and he can't understand what's going on as well as the other ones. So a lot of times I'll just be like, you need to be by yourself for a little bit. Can you go upstairs to your room until you can calm down? Until you can talk to me like you normally would? Until, I'm saying, fill in the blank. Because at that point, it gives them time to process their feelings, and then they can come back and they can discuss. Because when you're talking to them when they're angry, they're not going to process what you're saying. They're going to just cut you down. They're just going to be like, and we're done.
I love you, Mom.
I love you too, baby. They're going to just leave it blank. So those are the three things that we do. We call it our therapy answer, because that's what the therapist tells us to do. Piano, trampoline, walks. That's our first answer. The second answer is to say, I really can't handle this right now. Can I please be alone for a little bit? That's number 2. And like I said, the first one is something you probably do in connection with the second one. So a lot of times you probably should actually reverse it and be like, I really can't handle this right now. Can I have some time by myself? And then go and do, play the piano, take a walk, jump on the trampoline, release that anger in a healthy way. My oldest daughter, Rebecca, she does it by reading books. She reads books to other people, or she'll read books to herself. She'll go upstairs to her room and put away her laundry, which is super nice. I'm not going to lie about that one. And then the third option is when they're too little to really understand, but they're old enough where you can't really...
Get moved up.
We'll see. But when they're old enough where they're not really understanding the emotion coaching part of it, but then they do get it, you need something that's going to be a little bit more, you need to be able to start figuring this out. I think 5, he's almost 6. Well, I shouldn't say almost 6. He's on his way to 6. He's been 5 for a little while now. So I feel like at this point he should be able to start processing how to say an apology correctly. We have a 5-part apology system. If you want to know that, drop a comment below, because I can do that one as well. And it's worked so well with us because it helps them to realize what they've done wrong and how to fix it. But the whole point with going to your room and having a time out is that when they realize that they're overwhelmed, they can just go up by themselves. So, I actually get them to the point where I'm like, hey, you're upset right now. How about you go to your room for a little bit until you can calm down? Sometimes they need a nap, and so they'll go upstairs and they'll just take a nap. And that's perfect. It's the most important thing, in my opinion, is letting them regulate and feel like, hey, I need that break. Something's going on, and I'm really mad for some reason. I don't know why. And so I'm going to go ahead and just walk away from here and just be like, I need to go to my room for a little bit. Or they're sitting there whining and crying at me, and I have 5 kids. Okay, guys? I cannot handle all the crying all the time. He cries. My 8-year-old cries. My 6-year-old cries. Yes, you do. My 2-year-old cries. My 1-year-old cries. It's understandable for 2 of those 5, okay? In my opinion, it's 2 of the 5 that I'm like, okay, I can get why you cry. But I also teach sign language. And so, like there's so many different things. But anyways, my point is though, I feel that when we teach our children from a young age to take that break, then when they start to whine, they learn, okay, this is too much. I have to walk away. I have to do something different. I have to break away from what's going on because I can't handle this right now. And I think that's the most important thing. So I hope you take those 3 things and apply them. If you can, let me know what you do to help your children when they get angry. And if you got anything out of this, like, share, subscribe, and hope you, and click on that little bell button so you get notifications when I post every Sunday. So enjoy your week. I'll see you later.